All right, so I apologize. I don't know what happened with my setup for this Kuchar stream, but this is the stream that was supposed to be starting about 5 minutes ago. Me, myself, and Brian Kuchar. So who is Brian Kuchar? Well, I mean, the only reason I ever knew of the name Brian Kuchar, um, up until, well, I don't know. I guess I've heard the name Brian Kuchar for a few years now in relation to his um his role in the Free Britney movement and his subsequent um experience with being sort of involved in litigation with that was brought against him by Lou Taylor. And I think the nature of that litigation is really significant at this point. Um, like I haven't read through the court documents. I saw a tweet from BJ recently that she's going to be reading through the court documents at some point fairly soon. Um, and uh, she, the documents that she's going to be reading through are from several years back when Louise Mary Taylor sued Brian Kuchar because Brian Kuchar had tried to, well, he had set up a website called Lou M. Taylor or something like that. And which I think is to be neutral about it, I think it's a clever thing to do. When there's a controversial figure such as Lou Taylor, to go ahead and you know, create an asset that would be of value to someone like that who might, be willing to pay you for it at some point in the future. I mean, I think that's what free enterprise is all about. That's what capitalism is all about. That's what creativity is all about. All the above. I got no problem with that part of his strategy whatsoever. Um, Now he also was part of the Free Britney movement, and I believe he tried and possibly failed. And again, this is just going on things that people have sort of shared with me over the last few days. I guess he tried and possibly failed to trademark the hashtag Free Britney or something. But I believe it was determined that that was not, that was basically something in the public domain that no one person should have the ownership of. Um, and so that was a failed attempt at a trademark. And I guess that lawsuit that Lou Taylor brought against him settled. And also, besides the fact that it settled, um, there were predictably, there would have been, as with almost every lawsuit that settles, there would have been non-disclosure agreements, NDAs signed. So whatever Mr. Kuchar's side of that story is, he may or may not be at liberty to ever tell because of whatever was agreed to get the dispute out of court in the short term. Now, in the long term, though, NDAs can be extremely stifling to justice, as we're seeing with this whole, exposing the whole Nickelodeon situation, things like that. So, I hope for Mr. Kuchar's sake that he does get a chance to tell his story at some point, because it must be very frustrating to have sort of taken on such a huge task, like trying to trademark Free Britney and trying to sort of shed a light on Lou M. Taylor. At least I'm assuming that's what he was trying to do. And then to have been involved in this litigation that he didn't expect. He was a defendant the same way BJ Corville is a defendant now in these matters that have been brought by Lima Abramovich and, as it turns out, Mr. Kuchar himself more recently. you know, it is, it's difficult being a defendant. I mean, it's not easy being a plaintiff either, but the plaintiff is the one who makes the decision to get the government involved in any dispute. Okay. And that holds true whether it's small claims court, whether it's family divorce court, whatever, the plaintiff or the petitioner. Plaintiff and petitioner is the same in some jurisdictions as plaintiff, some jurisdictions as petitioner. Respondent or defendant is, you know, those terms are somewhat interchangeable in the legal field. So it's always the plaintiff or petitioner who makes the decision that this is something that cannot be resolved without government intervention. And is the defendant who has the burden of, you know, showing that the government does not need to be involved in this, and or that has the burden of providing enough of a defense that even if it's determined by the court that the government should be involved, that the government's going to rule in the defendant's favor, not in the plaintiff's favor. So, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, never been a lawyer, never going to be a lawyer, more than likely. I mean, can never say never, but I'd say there's a 99.999% chance I'm never going to be a lawyer. But I am fairly confident in what I just said as far as plaintiffs, petitioners initiate litigation, defendants, respondents have to react and do whatever is going to be in their interests, because the consequences of not reacting in a timely manner, in a proper manner, in an effective manner can be, I mean, they can be devastating financially, emotionally, socially, professionally, and in some cases, criminally, because even if it's a private citizen that's bringing a suit in civil court, sometimes the penalties for breaking any order of a civil court can be of a criminal nature. So it's the plaintiff has a lot of power. Now, they do have a burden to prove their case as well, but plaintiffs such as Louise M. Taylor, who brought this against Brian Kuchar, Lima Takali Mora Jevimovic, whatever she's going by these days, who brought this against BJ Corville, and Kuchar, who was a defendant in the matter of Taylor versus Kuchar, then became a plaintiff in the matter of Kuchar versus Corville years later. So Mr. Kuchar has the unique perspective of being both a respondent or defendant in a lawsuit brought against him by a very powerful person, and the experience of being a petitioner in a what I call a lawsuit, because a civil harassment restraining order, I believe, is a lawsuit. Again, because the penalties for violating it can be criminal and or financial or both. So people who say, oh no, harassment restraining orders, they're just trying to tell you to shut up. You don't need a lawyer for that. No. Well, wait till it happens to you, kids. Wait till it happens to you is all I have to say. I just want to say that all I see in the chat here is Fresca Mixed. And so because I'm using Zoom, I have a really weird view, so I don't see any of my numerous mods here. And you know, I said I would never have mods. It does show that 8 people are watching, but I'm only seeing Fresca Mixed in the chat. So I don't even know if Fresca Mixed is still here because they said hello about 10 minutes ago. But I'm just going to keep rambling on right now, like the crazy old broad that I am. So yeah, speaking of Mr. Kuchar and me being a crazy old broad, he started posting stuff on Twitter last week with my picture, like from my video. Like I'm sure he's screenshotting this right now. You know, my George Washington growing out to bob hair, and my, you know, crazy lady. Let me put the puffballs back on so they can get their comic shot. And let me get the pen and be like, Brian Kuchar, la, 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 la. So you can screenshot that and put it in your next meritless, bogus, frivolous, vexatious, nonsense, perjurious lawsuit. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, he started posting on Twitter last week something about contacting Lori Murphy, who's an effing social worker, who I guess somewhere online, Michelle B, who I guess, I'm not even gonna say her full name. I've had to reconnect with the, I've had to reconnect with law enforcement lately. So, anyway, apparently Michelle had posted this woman, Lori Murphy's name way back when, like back in maybe December or something, trying to get a mental health evaluation for me because Michelle didn't like what I was saying about her bestie, Brennan. Okay. So Michelle was trying to use, Michelle claims to be in Pennsylvania. I don't know if that's true or not, but she claims to be in Pennsylvania. She's trying to use law enforcement and adjacent resources, community resources in Massachusetts to stop me from speaking out about her, Michelle, about Brennan, about another group that she's a part of called the Carney Army, and about a woman that she has now aligned herself with, Lima, Mora, Takali, Jeremovich, whatever. So, now because Brian Kuchar, in addition to making a frivolous, meritless attempt at a restraining order against BJ, also had previously been listed as a witness in Lima's, as a witness for the petitioner, for the plaintiff, in Lima's, at least in the California litigation. I don't remember if he was listed as a witness in the New Jersey litigation, but Kuchar had already allied with Lima. And so when Brennan and Michelle and the Carney Army decided to stop supporting BJ and transfer their loyalty to Lima, I guess that formed an alliance with Kuchar as well. That apparently formed an alliance with some woman named Shannonography, who showed up in my chat last week as well when I started mentioning Brian Kuchar. Is Shannonography and Kuchar related? I don't know. Just a question. Questions ain't defamation. Questions ain't doxing. None of that. Kuchar owns 2 businesses in the state of Georgia. These businesses have kind of interesting names. One of them is called BK Style, all one word, but the E in style is the number 3. Okay. Now that's similar to his handles on various social media, including YouTube. And that's a business name registered in the state of Georgia. So of course, a business is going to have a web presence. And anyone who's going to conduct commerce in the United States of America needs to have a business address so that when legal disputes arise, people know where to serve your ass for the stuff that you're doing. Okay? Okay? That's not doxing. That's identification. All right? Same way the Carney Army claims to be a business and they have business partners and all this. Well, you need to make those information public, because if you're selling items to the public that the public rightfully pays for and those items just don't appear, well, that's a business dispute that needs to be reported in the right place. Okay? Carney Army and Witchy Sisters, you claim to be a business, you claim to be monetized, you claim to be selling official merchandise. Well, you got to dot your I's and cross your T's, or it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. Just saying. Just saying. So back to Kuchar. He owns this one business called BK Style. I'm not sure what year he incorporated that business. But in August of 2023, just days before filing what has since been dismissed attempt at a restraining order against BJ Corville, he decided to file a business with this particular name in the state of Georgia, That Surprise Witness LLC. And it's at the same business address as BK Style with the 3. Okay. So these 2 businesses are at the same address. Brian Kuchar is the owner of both these 2 businesses. Does he have other co-owners? Don't know. Don't care. Is that both a business address and a home address for him or someone else? Don't know. Don't care. Doesn't matter. Same way when Lima filed for a church at a place that people decided was Albert Minero's apartment. Well, I mean, if I'm going to join a church, I got to know where to show up to worship, right? If that's Albert Minero's apartment, God help me. God help me. But if that's where the church is, I guess God will have to help me when I get there, right? United House of God or something. Okay. Same with Lima. She starts this business called Aura. And with this business, she's marketing software to lock down mental health and addiction facilities in Nevada, possibly Florida, possibly California, possibly Arizona. She's market her product is only available in certain places, but her business happens to be registered in a completely different place, and it's Washington State. And so when you look up the corporate filings for the Aura business, which may or may not continue to exist, it shows an address in I don't know, somewhere in Washington State. Washington State's a big state. Okay. Somebody sued me from Washington State recently. And I'm saying sued intentionally. Someone from Washington State sent documents saying that they were trying to do the same thing to me that Brian Kuchar and Lima did to BJ. Okay. Exact same thing. So Lima's business is registered in Washington State. And then when anyone publishes where this business that has directly or indirectly led to involuntary confinement of people, and at least directly or indirectly to one person's not surviving that involuntary confinement, when we want to post, we want to draw attention to this business that is creating this sort of unintended or intended outcome in people's lives, where do we go to talk to the business owner? Well, it's this address in Washington State. Well, who the hell knows that Miss Lima, conservatively projecting 50 million for 2023 in revenues, was operating this business right out of her own darn living room. It must be nice to have a living room when you're scrounging around on Skid Row trying to pick people off the street to do your experimental technology. But this video is not about Lima. This video is about Brian Kuchar. So Brian Kuchar files in Georgia a business name, That Surprise Witness LLC, and then goes a few weeks later, days later, to a court in Georgia to try to file a harassment prevention order against BJ Corville, who owns a business called That Surprise Witness TV in a completely different state and has owned that trade name. Whether or not she trademarked it, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Don't care. I wasn't there. I don't care. The bottom line is the same man who had gone and registered Louise Mary Taylor or whatever he did back in whatever year he did it and kind of got sent out of court with his tail between his legs and maybe 20,000 hidden in there somewhere. I don't know. I wasn't there. Same dude who got sued by Lou then decides to up the ante, register a business under somebody else's name that I guess he was once friends with and no longer, don't know, wasn't there. Files a business with her name, name that everyone knows her by. And then goes and files a stalking order or something. I don't know if it was a stalking order, but files an order saying that she's doxing or harassing him. Again, I haven't even read any of this court paperwork. Okay. I'm just going by the little snippets that I've seen. So please don't hold me to this. Feel free to use the chat to correct anything I've said so far. Brian, if you're watching, you're always welcome to chat with me directly rather than trying to go through a social worker. I don't see what a social worker has to do with any of this. My name is Bonnie. Today is Wednesday, May 29th, 8:24 a.m. I'm in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in the United States of America. The president's name, unless I've missed something, is still Joe Biden. You may not like what I have to say, but A, I have a right to say it, and B, that doesn't make me crazy just because I'm pointing out the dirty stuff that you Atlanta dirty birds, if you know, are doing. Okay? So he files the business name. He files the restraining order. The restraining order is not allowed, but then he gets a hearing a few weeks later. And again, it's kicked out. So Brian Kuchar, whatever. But he's still got this business name sitting out there. So then flash forward from, let's say, October of 2023 to April of 2024, Mr. Kuchar, who by now, as I've mentioned, has aligned with former supporters of BJ Corville, or at least apparent former supporters. we never know if they were Lima plants all along. It started to look more and more that way. But anyway, Brennan from Texas, Michelle allegedly from Pennsylvania or West Virginia or both, something like that. The other guy from Washington State. So Lima's from Washington State, and then the guy from Washington State, the Kearney Army dude, Casey. Okay, so those three are now all aligned with some Canadian dude that goes by a bunch of different names that I've already done a video on, so we're not gonna worry about him. So we got Casey, we got Brennan, we got Michelle. Oh, we got MJ, who's also in Fulton County, just like Brian. Okay, says she's from New Orleans, but lives in Georgia. We got the Canadian dude, and Lima is also from Canada, coincidence or not. I'm just saying who's in this little group, this little chit chat. That's all been recorded and documented and forwarded to law enforcement, just so you know. Just so you know. Anyway, these people all decide they're going to switch the focus and they're going to apply for a trademark of not just that surprise witness, but also faxing defamation. And they're going to apply for this trademark from a business address that's the exact identical address of BK Style with a 3 and that surprise witness LLC without the TV in Atlanta, Georgia. But they're going to use an attorney out of Arizona, which is another place that Lima had some ties to when she was conserving or guardianing Bam Margera. They decide that the focus of this trademark and that what they're trying to do is, wait for it, anti-cyber stalking, anti-cyber harassment, anti-cyber bullying. Okay, so this little group teams up with Lima, steals BJ's name and tagline and all of her merch. I mean, at least now we got "We These People." Jesus, one of us has to please copyright that, because we the people is not the same as "We These People," just so you know. And the way we came up with "We These People," and BJ, please, take me to court if I'm wrong. "We These People" is because Lima kept saying in her interviews, these people, they don't know what's right for them. These people, they don't know what's in their best interest. These people on the street, these people shouldn't be allowed to be homeless. These people. So we're like, "We these people do not consent to your nonsense, Lima." Or yours, Brian Kuchar. So anyway, Brian Kuchar is now trying to claim that faxing defamation and that surprise witness is his trademark, and that the focus of this business, which he is attempting to trademark, and again, he failed on everything he's tried to do so far, but he just might succeed this time, who knows? He's claiming that the focus is anti-cyberbullying and anti-doxing and anti-harassing. Now, when Lima's Aura website was still up, since August of 2022, she had a link right there on the top front center of her page where you clicked through it, you're going to see the home address, not the business address, not the PO box, and not the fulfillment warehouse or anything. You're going to see the home address of the defendant in a matter that she brought. Okay, so pot, kettle, goose, gander, what the heck is up with this? So hopefully it's just another waste of time and money with them trying to file this trademark in April of 2024. April 24th of 2024, I think, like literally just a month and a few days ago. Hopefully it's going to get rejected like everything else Brian Kuchar has ever done in his life. But for him to post on Twitter a picture of me and have people like BJ Gummy Lips, who people think he's the same person as BJ Gummy Lips, I don't know. I don't care. All I know is they're gang stalking. And I know that's a kind of a buzzword. I'm using it ironically. It's not a symptom of a mental illness Lima can try to force me to be treated for, because I'm calling her and her gang of stalkers. And Lima's gang would include Brian Kuchar, Brennan Siler Bell, Leighton Fowler, whatever she goes by, Casey Fowler, whatever he goes by, Michelle, whatever her name is, MJ, whatever her name is. These people, oh, and don't forget the Canadian, don't forget the Canadian, Egyptian, whatever, who started emailing me back in November with some extremely disturbing and intrusive inquiries. Okay, so all these people, all these people have my number. All these people know where I live. All these people have my email address. All these people have social workers in the area and police in the area on the lookout for me. And yet, instead of just addressing me one-on-one and being like, hey, Bonnie, you know, when you said that thing about me being a buffoon, a clown, I really didn't like that. Could you please take that back? And I'd be like, it's okay, Brian. You're not really a clown. No, 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 no. You're not a clown. You're more of a what does your Twitter say? Oh, you're more of a gay demon. Okay, is it okay if I call you gay? Oh no, if I call you gay, that's homophobic. Okay. Can I just call you a scheming demon? Is that okay? I mean, schemes can be good. What do you want to call you, Brian? And where do you want me to reach you if not at your business address? All right. Sorry, this was more of a rant than anything else today. Oh, okay. Now we got people in the chat. All right, all right, all right. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, we even got mods in the chat. Hallelujah. God bless America. All righty. Let's see. All right. So Jamie's here. From Another Planet is here. Fresca is here. Kaleidoscope. Hello, Kaleidoscope. Gotta show up at service at Albert's apartment. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. Exactly. Why didn't Lima use a UPS store address or like a WeWork or something? Or like a lawyer's office. I mean, there's so many ways to register your business beside at the home of a that you live in with a man who's now trying to sever his marital relationship with you. Oh yeah, there you go. Mizu in Quebec. Quebec, Quebec. Ooh, who else is from Quebec? Oh, wasn't I mentioning someone from Quebec? Someone who's part of this little cabal of weenies? Yep, yep, I think I was. Let's see. Mark McComsey Eisenbach moved to Idaho. Oh, good Lord. Well, you know who else is right on the border of Idaho and Washington, as I found out the hard way because I had to go to, Zoom court there. Okay. I can't believe Brian tried to get you committed. Yes, he did, Fresco Mixed. Oh, yes, he did. Brian is a bully. Well, you said that, not I, Anano Clown RS. I mean, who hasn't tried to get me committed? Come on, Fresco Mix. You know you tried to get me committed one time, didn't you? Didn't you? One time at band camp? Oh. Let's see. Brian's whole existence is deception and trickery. The real bullies always play the victim card. Is Brian BJ Gummy Lips? That's the question of the hour. I don't think so. I think they're just very closely aligned. I mean, the surprise witness has some theories on this. 200 viewers? What? The surprise witness? What the heck? Oh, no way. No way, girl. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that happened once before. I don't know how that happens, but wait, what? What? Who's not the sharpest tools in this shed? Absurdity dress up. Who's not the sharpest tools in the shed? Well, I mean, yeah, he does call himself gay, but it's the same way I don't say the N-word for someone who is melanated. I don't need to talk about somebody's sexuality if it's not my business, if they're not my partner. So yeah, and I don't need them talking about my age or my marital status or my lack of children thereof, my lack of grandchildren thereof. Like it's sickeningly personal. The way that Lima and Brennan and Brian and all their Limians, Brynians, whatever the group is called, whatever they call their little non-army, it is really sickening the level of microscopic scrutiny and surveillance that they put people under. It's almost as if Lima was trained by the same people that had cameras under Britney Spears' bed. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Not using a PO box means they're not the sharpest tools. Okay. So this concludes the Brian Kuchar part of the discussion. If you have any questions or any further information about Brian Kuchar and his efforts to commit me, or his efforts to get a trademark on something that, you know, is a lot of my wardrobe, that I would then be like, you know, forced to pay him royalties on the items that I've purchased from That Surprise Witness in New Jersey. And just to be clear, the surprise witness is not the same as that surprise witness, okay? There's a difference, a subtle difference, but please do not think that the woman whose lovely, beautiful face appears in the thumbnail next to the surprise witness is in any way trying to impersonate that surprise witness. Okay. So Bonnie's going viral. Oh, good Lord. I hope there's some ivermectin for that. Oops. Now YouTube's gonna shut me down because I said ivermectin. Uh-oh. Okay, so yeah. Oh, did I put the hashtag Free Britney in that? I don't know. Did I? Well, that's up to the trademark office, Kaleidoscope, whether or not Brian's application gets denied. You'll trademark this name. Ooh. Aha, there you go. There you go. Well, I was going to trademark BK Style, but I was going to put a $sign for the S and just have a regular E, you know, because that's my trademark. Because I'm from New Orleans. I ain't from Atlanta. Cash Money is it's my gummy. Whatever. Yes, the medication for prevention of heartworm. Like I feel like I have worms in my heart. That's how much of a heart attack I feel like I'm having. And there's a lot of dogs in the neighborhood, so it's always, and horses. I got horses right out back, so it's always good to have ivermectin. And by the way, tomorrow we're going to be talking about either Edie Saffron or Illyria Sand, and I just have to let the Carney Army know neither Edie Saffron nor Illyria Sand is living in a tent behind my house where the horses and everything is. Okay, just so you know, that's another rumor that was started back in November by the Carney Army that I just want to make sure to clear up. Do I know if Brian has followed that lawsuit? Again, I wish it were as simple as all of these people being one and the same, but I think they're just, you know, a select group of people that Lima has on her, either her payroll or her, just her, you know, her side. Oh, who's Mike Hamilton? I think Mike Hamilton very well might be Brian Kuchar. And if Mike Hamilton is not Brian Kuchar, that very well could be Lima or someone close to Lima. Okay. I don't think Mike Hamilton corresponds with any real life person whose name is actually Mike or Hamilton. But clearly Mike Hamilton started a subreddit called That Surprise Witness, She's the Worst. So it would have been clear to anybody who stumbled upon that wasn't like something that BJ had started for herself. And that wasn't something that like BJ's mods or anyone close to BJ or anyone that actually supports BJ would have started. It could have been part of Kuchar's efforts to claim ownership of the phrase That Surprise Witness. Yeah, Follow That seems different than BK. I think BJ Gummy Lips seems different than BK. I think I know Ava seems very different from all of the above. But I mean, could they be family members? Could one of them be Linda Omar? Could one of them be somebody from the Jabramovich family? Could one of them be Albert Monero Jr.? Could Follow That lawsuit be Albert Monero Jr.? Sure, why not? That icon on the Twitter looks like a thinner, better looking Albert Monero Jr. in a way. I don't know. I'm asking questions. Questions ain't defamation, you know, all that. So what does it say? Who is Ava Soap? Yeah. You know, Ava is somebody I was in touch with despite myself for quite some number of months. Ava sought me out and basically, you know, told me that as much as she hated BJ, I mean, I don't want to say that, I'm calling her she, but just because Ava to me is like a female name, but like, as much as Ava hated BJ, they really thought it was horrible what the Carney Army and Brinians, et cetera, were doing to me. And so they wanted to help me get out of that situation. And I believe, again, Ava, if you're watching, you're not blocked or anything. Ava wanted me to, I think, and again, Ava can speak for themselves. They always have, and they always will. Even though they've blocked me on Twitter, I have not blocked them. Ava, I think, was hoping that by showing some compassion toward me for what the Carney Army and Brinians were doing to me, that I would somehow become Team Lima. Little did Ava know that the Carney Army and the Brinians and Lima were one and the same. Okay? Because Ava claims not to have talked to Brian Kuchar until a few days ago, like a week ago. And Ava also claims not to have talked to Lima directly ever, whereas I know for a fact that Brennan has been talking to Lima directly since November. Maybe Ava's Brennan. Maybe Ava is MJ. Maybe Ava is Michelle. I don't know. All questions, all theories. I'm not claiming any facts here. I'm asking questions. I'm making some jokes. I'm spitting out some theories that are just popping into my head and seeing what y'all think of them. So, I wouldn't say Ava turned on me. Ava really tried me to take down Brian Kuchar's business address. And when I said, hell no, I said, even when I thought it was his home address, it's easily Googleable. And then when I found out it was his business address, I was like, absolutely not. I'm not taking out somebody's business address that keeps going and filing crazy nonsense around on other people. No, people need to know who this person is. They need to look out for them. And then when a nano clown found out that that Kuchar is also an Uber driver, I mean, good Lord, can you imagine getting in a car with that? Like, I mean, just imagine this. And this is just an imagination thing. Imagination ain't defamation. Do y'all remember the Imagination Movers? They were like a kid show. And I know there's been a lot of scrutiny on kid shows, but actually the Imagination Movers, I forget what network they were on. I don't think it was Nickelodeon. It might have been Disney. But anyway, when my son was little, we used to love them because they were like, had New Orleans connections. And I went to high school with the wife of one of them. But anyway, I digress. Imagination ain't defamation. And imagine if BJ had to fly down to Atlanta for that bogus, ridiculous restraining order hearing that Brian brought against her back in, August through October, whenever it was finally heard. And imagine if, it was finally heard on October 23rd. I'll never forget that date. Okay, so imagine if on the night of October 22nd, which happened to be my birthday, she flies into Atlanta and she just jumps in an Uber. And who's driving the Uber but freaking Brian Scott Kuchar? Can you imagine how horrifying that would be? Anyway, that was just a detour. Weird how Team Lima all follow the silent victim card and they all have their own accounts and voices. Yep. You'd recognize what the surprise witness, what would you recognize? Imagination ain't defamation. See, he's probably trying to trademark that right now. So yeah, do y'all have anything specific that you want me to cover when I'm doing, again, I'm happy to keep talking about Brian Kuchar, but I really just, it makes me sick to even think about him at this point. But the two lovely people that I will be covering over the next couple of days are both go by the initials ES. And it was funny because I kept seeing people in BJ's chat yesterday saying, like, chatting to someone with ES. But then I also saw that Edie Saffron was there, so I knew it wasn't Edie Saffron, but maybe it's Illyria Sand. Anyway, Edie Saffron and Illyria Sand are two people from the Discord that I'm going to be covering tomorrow and Friday, respectively. I'm not sure which one's which, but you know, one or both will be tomorrow and Friday. And if you have any questions about these people, or if you know them and want to ask them to get in touch with me, they can email bammandalia@gmail.com. That's BAMANDAHLIA@gmail.com. I just hope that this cabal of Lima and Brian Brinyans, or whatever they are, has not used the information which I have subsequently discovered was shared by High Priestess Steph with Michelle B. So Michelle B has access to everyone's information that they gave to Steph, and Michelle B shared that with Brennan, Casey, Douglas, aka Louis Martin Dion, MJ, God knows who else. I don't know who else she shared it with, but I know she at least shared it with those people. Because screenshot's been fired. Run and tell that. You got to watch out what you say in the group chat. Squirrel is acting up. Like how I kind of weaved those lyrics into this little video about Brian Scott Kuchar. Just saying, just saying. How does it say 284 watching now? That doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? A Nano Clown says, I guess you're talking about Brian Scott Kuchar. He's a lonely clown with no life. Squirrels and clowns. The truth about Bryn is coming out. Well, I think it's been out. I think it's becoming irrefutable, you know. And luckily, because Lima and Bryn are now essentially left and right hand, or two right hands. Any truth that comes out about Bryn casts shadow, even greater shadow, on Lima and vice versa. Therefore, you know, one stone, two birds, you know the rest. Oh, absolute cult vibes. Yes. It's not even cult vibes. It is. I can't wait for Rabbit, if Rabbit ever watches this, to cover the Carney cult, to cover the Brennan cult. I mean, it is, you know, I know Rabbit and I fell out because I kept trying to ask questions about what was the connection between the Carney Army and Kylie Rodney and Ryan Upchurch and Ictamel, who I guess is Rabbit's friend. And Rabbit thought I was trying to draw her into drama. No, I was asking pertinent questions at the time. And remember, questions ain't defamation, questions ain't harassment, questions ain't doxing, questions ain't nothing but questions. And so the fact that then people are coming to me like, oh, Rabbit hates you, Rabbit this, Rabbit that. I'm like, all right, whatever. Rabbit's out, Bonnie's out too, you know? But I mean, I'm never going to super chat her again, but if she decides to cover the Carney Army, I will definitely send her a nice Cash App or send her something from her kids' Amazon wish list. But yeah, I just got sick of like sending super chats that then got screenshotted and like, you know, whatever. It was ridiculous. But that's how they work. They were like working on me. Like Ava was working on me to try to turn me in one way. You know, they were creating these fake accounts to tell me to go and like watch Charisma's videos and all this. But luckily, I had a very, 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 very super secret um Carney information agent embedded for quite some time. And believe it or not, that agent is still embedded in more ways than one. So the truth always comes out. I mean, I know Rabbit's channel has gotten like huge now, you know. I think Rabbit had like maybe 10,000 when I first started watching her back in August, September last year. And now what is she like up to 60, 70,000? So, you know. All right, y'all. Well, we've been going like 51 minutes. I have no like hard stop today, really. Well, I do, but I don't think it's till later. Um, but like while there's this many people watching, I just want to make sure I leave it open. Like Absurdity Dress Up, thank you for chatting. I don't think I've seen you before. Looks like everybody else has a wrench. I've seen them so many times. I've given out wrenches, which I said I would never do. Yeah, I think she did Kaleidoscope. You'd have to double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure she grew. And so did this other channel called Jamie's Animals, which I would encourage everybody to go check out. Um, it grew from under 500 to 25,000 during the same period of time while it was covering issues related to um, the Carney Army. So, you know, Carney Army can help grow a channel. I mean, maybe, who knows, maybe Rabbit will go to like 200,000 if she starts coming to the Carney Army. Maybe people come out of the woodwork and say, yep, they tried to recruit me to the Carney Army. I don't know. I mean, I got people as far away as New Zealand coming in and telling me their tales from the Carney Army, and they don't blame the Carney. They blame Britain. So just saying, just saying, just saying. Ooh, I just see that the surprise witness put in an interesting idea. If Ava was the same as Bryn or Michelle, etc. I don't know if that's a follow-up to something you had put in earlier, the surprise witness, but if you're still watching, could you explain that message that I just pinned? Oh, I tried to pin. Yeah, imagination ain't defamation. Yeah, definitely. We need that suit, that t-shirt. Cool, absurdity dress up. Well, you know, thanks for coming out from behind the scenes. Happy to have you here. Got it. Yeah, I don't think they're the same either. And yeah, I don't think they're the same either, the surprise witness. The surprise witness. The one, the only, the surprise witness. Coming soon to a live stream near you. Oh, they're right here. They're right here. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. They're right here. Let me try to. I'm looking at so many different screens right now. I mean, I'm only looking at one screen, but I'm looking at so many different like open windows on that one screen. So let's see. Here's Donnie. Let's see. Donnie's right here. And then I'm sorry, here's Boba. I get them confused. Boba's right here. And Donnie is just hanging out in Boba's pocket. In Boba's with these people pocket. So yeah, they're good. So, Bonnie, where did you say this Brian Kuchar lives? Well, Donnie, I don't know where he lives, and I don't want to know where he lives, but he owns a couple of businesses in Hotlanta. Oh, Hotlanta. I remember one time I went to a BDSM club there. Do you remember that, Bonnie? Oh, I do remember that, Donnie. That was scary. That was during that PBS conference down in Atlanta. Well, yes, it was back in 1999, before most of these creatures were even born. Oh yeah, that was weird. Remember when they dropped the candle wax on the nipples of that guy? Ooh, that was really gross. I hadn't really thought about that much until I saw those pictures that Ally sent of Brennan. Oh yeah, Brennan. She looks like she'd love some wax stripped on her nipples. Ah! Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, one time when I went to a work conference in Atlanta, a bunch of people wanted to go to some like bondage club. So I went. And I was in Atlanta. And this was before Uber, thank God. But I mean, we took a taxi from the hotel where we were all staying out to some random part of Atlanta, and it was crazy. It was like a dungeon. And this is like work colleagues. It's when I worked for WGBH. Okay, people get freaky sometimes. I ain't freaky like that. Yep, there you go, Anonymous Glamorous. Oh, hey, base girl, good to see you. Oh man. So baby rain. Oh, sorry, no. So baby reindeer. What else should we talk about? Well, I'd love to know more about Base Girl. Base Girl, I really love your YouTube channel. Can you tell me more about you? What's it like in Tomorrowland, Base Girl? Uh-oh, Base Girl ran away. Baby reindeer sees you, Base Girl. Oh, okay. There you are. All right, we're just clowning around here. Hey, where's just clowning around? I haven't seen them in a while. I wonder if just clowning around is Ava. Ooh. I wonder if just clowning around is Ava because I haven't seen just clowning around since Ava disappeared. Just clowning around. Are you watching? Are you watching? If so, better come out of the shadows or I'm going to think you're Ava too. Maybe just clowning around is working or something. They'll put comments later after this video gets posted. All right. Well, we've kind of had our fun for the day, you know. Anything else anybody needs or wants before I sign off? Oh, humble musician. Well, um, here, let me give you a wrench so you can promote your channel so we can go see your humble music. Uh, yeah. Go check out Bass Girls Humble Music. Fresca mixed. Are you saying you're glad I got away from Bryn or glad Bass Girl got away from Bryn or glad everybody got away from Bryn? I don't know who you were referring that comment to. I can't believe it still says 214 watching. That's just bizarre to me. It's just really bizarre. Ooh, okay. Kaleidoscope has a question for Base Girl. Fresca Mixed, did you get away from Bryn yourself? Um, I mean, Base Girl, if Base Girl wants to join me, they can, she can call in. I mean, she can, oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Fresco. That's up to Base Girl. Anybody, like, I'll put the Zoom link in the chat. Anybody can come in. I mean, like, I've been encouraging people to do that since forever. And the only people that ever did it were Jamie and apparently Bryn pretending to be Douglas. Just saying. Is there really a Douglas or was that Bryn all along? I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, all you need to do is go to Zoom and put in, and then I'll see you in my waiting room. And you don't have to turn your camera on. You can put whatever name you want on the screen. I mean, you can call yourself Brian Kuchar for all I care. I don't care. Oh, see, that's the website. Wait, let me see. Oh, yeah, it's not letting me do that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, so much to unpack. Exactly. All right, y'all. Well, the thing about the truth is, Anano Clown R Us, is everybody has their own truth, you know, as everyone should. But when so many people's truth aligns to show almost mirror images of almost identical experience with the same couple of people or group of people, that's when you start to say, all right, well, there may be some objective truth among us that we can all agree on. Even if, for example, I mean, I know there's a couple of you on here that are extremely loyal, or I don't want to say extremely loyal, but that are continuing to support the man who got a friggin' nonsense restraining order against me. All right, that's cool. Hope he never does the same thing to you, because believe me, it's no fun. It's no fun to have to show up on Zoom in court and have some arrogant Idaho potato peeler, whatever the hell that judge was, yell at you on a screen when everybody else is in the courtroom and you're just sitting here on a screen. That's pretty effing humiliating. And you know Brennan's watching under some fake account. I hope he doesn't do it to you, is all I'm saying. Because clearly their little victory lap didn't last long. Oh, that's nice. That's nice of you to say, Absurdity. Absurdity says, Base Girl 42, take your time to unpack, but we're here for you when you're ready to talk. How many accounts do the clowns have? Well, I mean, to infinity and beyond, because they're starting new accounts all the time. And there's so many of them. The clowns replicate with such frequency. They make the squirrels look, you know, extinct. They make the guinea pigs look extinct. They make the rabbits look extinct. They make the chinchillas look extinct. I mean, like I said, just clowning around. I mean, maybe that's you, a nano clown, or us. I don't know if I've ever seen I don't know if I've ever seen both a nano clown and just clowning around in the same live stream. And even if I have, doesn't mean they're not using their work phone to be a nano clown and using their home phone to be um just clowning around. I don't know. I mean, for that matter, maybe Illyria Sand and Edie Saffron are the same. That's why they both have ES. I don't know. I know that the surprise witness has uh some extra accounts everywhere that I would never have known about, and I still don't know about. But with those accounts, the surprise witness is witnessing all kinds of surprises. The surprise witness witnesses more surprises before I wake up in the morning than most people see all day. I know. Okay, it's not you, Anonymous account. That's fine. I know, so many accounts, so little time. You've tagged them. What does that mean, the surprise witness? What does that mean you've tagged them? Can you explain what you mean by that? The surprise witness? Oh, well, I mean, maybe that's all your YouTube accounts today, but I mean, I start new YouTube accounts all the time. And what I'm meaning, the surprise witness, aka Jamie, is that I mean, you could have like 35 different Twitter profiles that I don't know about. You could have all kinds of stuff. And I hope you do, because that's the way we keep an eye, not just on our enemies, but on our friends. Okay? Because if you can still see behind the scenes into what people are saying about me when they've long since figured out how to keep me from seeing it, that's a true friend to be able to tell me that, you know? So I appreciate that. So I hope you have some accounts that I'll never know about. Because otherwise, if I ever tag them, then they'll know it's me, you know? Ugh. All right. We love your guinea pigs, Jamie. Guinea pigs take up my time, or else I'd be making accounts instead of accidental guinea pigs. Maybe you need to make an account for each one of your guinea pigs individually and then have them each go and sign Brennan's petition so she can finally get to 500. I mean, that girl's been like hovering at 475, 477 for weeks now. What's up with that? Go sign Brennan's petition. I want her to get to 500,000. Because what happens when you get 500,000 signatures on a change.org petition? That means more and more and more people are onto your nonsense. No, oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. I know what happens. Apparently, when she gets to 500, she's going to give a lap dance live on carneyarmy.com or something. I don't know. I don't know what Brennan does. I don't know. I don't want to know. How did she get so many? Because people were literally saying in the chat, oh, I signed twice yesterday and I had my cat sign. I'll have my cat sign today and then I'll sign again in 2 weeks. Because I guess you can only sign from the same email address a certain number of times in a certain number of days. But so they're like, oh, I signed from my cat's Instagram. I signed from I mean, like, yeah. Okay. Enjoy. Oh gosh. So it's 1:11 a.m. So you're already in Thursday, base girl. All right. Well, happy Thursday. Sweet dreams. Bye, base girl. Maybe BK will trademark that army. What do you mean that army? Just like that army? Because we got that real army, we got that surprise army, we got the surprise army, we got this surprise army. I mean, she took possibly Fresca mix, possibly. A nano clown, you're asking what's Brennan's job? Uh, I thought she was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I thought she was a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. That's what she told me. She told a lot of people other things. She told some people she was a nurse. She told some people she was a private investigator. She told some people she worked at like as a paralegal. But she told me she was a stay-at-home mom. And that's what one of her husbands told me. I don't know what the first husband and second husband had different things to say, but the most recent husband said that she was a stay-at-home mom. Oh, what's her job? Carney. Jamie, you're too funny. Oh, Carney Army. Oh, so what you're saying is BK will trademark Carney Army. I thought you were saying Brennan's job was being a Carney. Remember, Penelope, I gave birth to my cat. Yeah, I know. I gave birth to my chinchilla. I gave birth to twin chinchillas and twin cats, and I named them Dahlia and Dahlia and Dia, and they switch back and forth. So I have a chinchilla and a cat, and then a cat and a chinchilla, and then yep. Mhm. I do love Penelope Kaleidoscope. That is true. Oh, I could have been on SNL when I was back in the day, but no. I think I'm just on WML. That would be Wednesday Morning Live. Wednesday morning live stream. I feel like Boba is feeling neglected since we got the baby reindeer. Coffee talk. No big whoop. No big whoop whoop. That was kind of like a ICP coffee talk reference. Isn't whoop whoop the ICP thing? Coffee talk. No big whoop whoop. See, my favorite idea of Brennan's that I would never try to copyright because if anything, I want her to actually take her own original ideas and do something with them. I know in Nano Clown, I had said something to you about not having original ideas. I apologize. Sometimes I get a little snarky. But with Brennan, kind of soon after, like soon after soon after Brian Kuchar's restraining order against BJ was completely dismissed by the Georgia courts, i.e., soon after October 23rd of 2023, Brennan changed at least one of her numerous Instagram accounts to the stand-up army. And I was like, oh, that's cute, because like stand-up comedy. Like I'm all for comedy. In fact, I don't mind all these channels that are like hating on me and like putting up, clips of me and making me look ridiculous. I don't mind that at all. Comedy's comedy. That's fine. I mind it when people use those images to claim that I've committed crimes that I've not committed. And I mind it when people use those images to share, where to find me and how to, contact my police department and how to contact social services and all that kind of stuff. I mind that, but I certainly don't mind the jokes themselves. I can laugh at myself. So when she was going to market herself as a stand-up army, I thought that was actually a really cool, like, direction. But of course, that lasted for like 12 minutes and then she changed it to something else. Yeah, I never even knew what ICP was until September 9th of 2023. And that was the day that I was on like a live stream of, I think it was like a video premiere on High Priestess Steph and then a live stream of BJ, our video premiere. And then Brennan was inviting us all to come over to this live stream of Friday Night Friday Night in the Fun House with this dude with face paint on. And I'm like, oh, hey, Bren, who's this? Like, how do they fit in? Are they part of like BJ's like, oh no, this is just a friend of mine. He does like a mental health channel and don't mind the face paint. He's a fan of ICP. And so I'm like Googling, what is ICP? Okay. So when you go to Wikipedia, you get a pretty clear snapshot of what ICP is in addition to being a misogynistic rap group out of Detroit. So yeah, that was my first experience. I was gonna say that was my initiation, but thank God I never went through any initiation rituals, unlike some people who went through some initiation indoctrination rituals live on their channel. I never painted my face, but we've cleared that one all up, I hope. Um, yes, of course, fresco mixed. It was like she was like proud of it. Well, I mean, she was proud of it to me. I can't speak to how she portrayed herself to other. You say whoop whoop 3 times and Brennan will appear. Oh yeah, he claims to have been Kaleidoscope. He claims to have actually been a carnival worker at some point in his life. And that was what was funny. When he said juggalo, I didn't know juggalo was something to do with ICP. I thought he was like a juggler, like a clown in the carnival juggling. Like that's what I thought a juggalo was. And I was like, oh, maybe juggalo means he was like a juggler that was like a ladies' man. I don't know. I didn't know. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Yep, that's what she said. That's what she said. A mental health channel. But bump. Alleged initiation rites and rituals. Alleged. Alleged. All I know is that the face paint and the number 17 and drinking Faygo and certain other legal and or illegal activities are all indicative of self-identified juggalos and juggalettes. I know. I think that's gigolo, a nano clown. So let me just spell it differently. Okay, so Gigolo equals male sex worker. Okay, Jugalo equals yeah, I just thought he was like juggling lots of ladies in the carny, like with the he was a clown that was like juggling lots of ladies. I don't know. I don't know what I thought. I mean, the face paint, the dreadlocks, the skateboard, I didn't know what to think. Now I've got that song by David Lee Roth in my head. Just a gigolo, and everywhere I go, da 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 da. Yep, it really is a circus. But as Steph would say, not my monkeys, not my circus. But I gave all your information, all your personal details, all your government names, and all your email addresses, and all your locations right over to the Carney Army itself, because not my monkeys, not my circus. Am I bitter towards Steph? Yeah, you can say that. You can say that fairly. And then, oh, look, I just got a voice recording from SoFly. Okay, let's play it. Beep. Hello, Bonnie. Yeah, I know. I heard that Michelle had given all your information over to Brennan and Lima, and that's why I'm glad Brennan never had my real information. No, my name isn't Sophie Robson. No, that's just a character I play on TV. No, 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 no. My name is really, I mean, it's obviously, my name is Kate Middleton, obviously, and I haven't been seen. And okay, so funny. I'm going to skip to the next message because that one was a little bit boring. Okay, here's the next one. Oh, and by the way, Bonnie, I've done my own research, and yeah, you really need to keep an eye on that Edie Saffron. Yeah, Edie Sedgwick, Andy Warhol, Factory Girl. I really, really, really think that's Lima in disguise. I really think that. Yeah, but anyway, I gotta go make another silent vlog of me making some baba ganoush. Okay. All right. Oh, wait, there's another one. They just keep them. Okay. Oh man. I mean, oh, and Bonnie, by the way, did you ever call protective services on Britain's children like I told you to? No, Sophie, I did not. That's not my job. Okay. Quit telling me to call protective services on somebody's children that I don't even know. Okay, Sophie? That was you. That was not me. And Brennan trying to claim that I was BJ Gummy Lips and that Sophie was BJ Gummy Lips and that everybody was BJ Gummy Lips just because many of us were concerned about her children's welfare when she was clearly neglecting them to do all this other stuff, all this other carny business. That doesn't mean we're the same person. That means Most human beings want to see children taken care of. That's all. Take care of your kids. Don't give us something to talk about. I mean, for someone to have the privilege of being a stay-at-home mom and taking that privilege and going on and doing all this cuckoo adult stuff online rather than actually taking care of the children, and then to claim that they're being set up and framed. Oh, I am not everywhere. I'm not the one who claims to be everywhere. I'm not the one who says things like, hey, I know something you don't know. Because Seabowls sees everything. I know something you don't know. Seabowls sees everything. I'm there and I'm there and I'm there and I'm there and I'm there. I guess that's a side effect or a byproduct or a benefit of dissociative identity disorder is you're seeing everything all at once. I don't know. Yes, C. Fales has claimed that one of his diagnoses is DID and another one is bipolar. I mean, he's claimed that on his live videos. That's public information. You put this stuff on YouTube, okay? It would be very different. Let me just back up a little bit to Lima and her sisters, okay? It would be very different if instead of going on Dissociated's channel, if Lima had done a comeback video with Dahlia and Dia and been like, you know, the Takali twins, where have we been? Dahlia and Dia, where have we been? And they'd be like, hi, I'm Dahlia, and this is Dia. This is our other sister, Bing, Lima. Okay, so instead of that blue-haired dude, Dustin Dern or whatever, jumping in the screen, it would be like Dahlia and Dia and Bing, Lima. And Lima would be like, these are my sisters, and I own a company called Aura. And we kind of came up with the idea together because my sisters were having such a hard time with their mental health, but I'll leave them to tell it. And then Dahlia would be like, well, I have this problem. And Dia would be like, I have this problem. And Lima would be like, but we came up with a solution using VR technology and gaming, and here's how it works. So here's your headset, and here's your headset. Tell us what, I mean, she could have done this on the up and up. But instead, she goes on sites like Mark Leda and Adam 22, or as a lot of people like to call it, Adam 16. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what people call him now. And something else just came into my head. I need to write it down before. Okay, so yeah, so instead of doing something like that and like just using Dahlia and Dia's existing channel to be like, this is their comeback, and we're going to be documenting their journey with Aura and everything. And one of them is going to do inpatient, and one of them is going to do outpatient, and we're going to just see how they do and everything like that because they're twins. So this is an amazing way to like document if this really works. And if you'd like more information about Aura for yourself or your loved one, contact me at whatever business address you want to use and whatever email you want to use, whatever phone number you want to use, that isn't your private personal stuff that you don't want people knowing about. Don't go on channels with, oh, and Steve, did she ever go on Steve-O's channel? I don't know if she did, but anyway, don't go on these big, giant, creepy channels and expect people not to look you up. I mean, that's just dumb. Oh, from another planet, you're killing me now. By the way, I know you're working, but now you're double dipping because now you're my mod. She was working so hard on Pear Therapeutics. She couldn't change her kid's diaper because she was just working so hard on proving that Lima had stolen technology from Pear Therapeutics. Oh, they're married? Is this breaking news on Insta? Bam and Danny are married. Like really for real married, or married like he was married to Nikki and married like Lima was married to Ivan? Like do we have proof? Do we have an actual registered marriage somewhere in the United States of America? If so, I hope so. Yeah. Bam's never going to be free now because Danny's going to keep a tight watch on him. Oh, I could have been the PR manager, but I don't think I'm Albert Monero Jr.'s type. Just saying. Do y'all remember that time back during the Discord when I got hired for that position with Marigold Health, which is a mental health startup here in Boston? Do y'all remember that time when I was like asking people about whether I should take the job or not, and people were giving me all these ideas and everything? Do y'all remember that? Shame on me for trusting anybody in that server with my personal information. Oh, they got married yesterday. Awesome. They got married on Memorial Day. That's so cool. Like, I love that they got married on a Monday. Like that's so much better than like a Friday or Saturday or Sunday. That's amazing. Yeah, I really like Danny for him. I really, really like Danny. And what I like the most about Danny is it looks like she came out of the whole Florida shuffle system the same way he did. Maybe not the same way, but she has lived experience of the Florida shuffle the same way Bam does. And they didn't meet in Delray. Oh no, they met in LA. You know what I mean? Which then made me think, uh-oh, is she a Lima plant? Because you know that according to Jamie yesterday, Dahlia's last alleged location was Delray. I mean, all roads lead to Delray from in the substance recovery world. All roads lead to Delray, and I've lived through that firsthand through loved ones, as Lima would say. Did they contact my work? I have no reason to think that they didn't, but I never took that job that I was posting about in there, but they threatened to contact my other job that I had for like a year and a half, and then I just quit the job abruptly because I was too scared. Like I was literally too scared because I contacted the police in the town where my job was, which is different than the town where I live. See, like some people have a work address and a home address, and neither one has anything to do with each other. Unlike you, Lima, unlike you, Frank Kuchar, or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so I contacted the police in that town, and they're just like, well, what do you want us to do about it? I'm like, well, I'm just letting you know that people have been threatening to, have me like court committed or whatever. And because the jurisdiction here where I'm working is very different than the jurisdiction where I live, I'm just calling you ahead of time to let you know this is something that's been threatened against me, and I'm fine. And they're like, okay, well, I mean, if it happens, it happens. But like, what do you want? I was like, screw you, screw this job. I'm going home. At least my town police and my local FBI know what's up. I'm not going to deal with you podunk police in the state where Adam Grandmason grew up. Just saying. Just saying. Ooh, she's starring in a movie. That's so cool. That sounds amazing. That's funny because Danny and Bam kind of remind me of my stepmom and my dad, and they both passed away in the last few years. But my stepmom and my dad used to go out to Santa Fe every single summer for like 4 to 6 weeks and hang out there. So that's cool. That's cool. I'm happy for them. Very happy for them. You spelled it differently. I believe it's this way. I think it's more of a French name. I think there's an I in, oh, sorry. Oh, I spelled that wrong too. I'm pretty sure that's the full spelling. Grandmaison. I'm pretty sure. Which in French would be Grand Maison, which means big house. Grand Maison. Grand Maison. Because there used to be a department store in Louisiana called Maison Blanche. And that's one of the first gifts I ever sent to BJ was Maison Blanche had a holiday mascot called Mr. Bingle. And it's like a little, oh my God, he's kind of like a clown, actually, now that I think about it. He's like a holiday clown, maybe like a snowman. I don't know. You can look up Mr. Bingle, okay? Anyway, so I sent a little a plushie Mr. Bingle to BJ back in like, I guess it must have been like 2021 or something. Cause I remember at like Christmas time of 2021, because she had mentioned something about Maison Blanche. She was like, your mom would take you down to the Maison Blanche to buy your school clothes or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, BJ, Maison Blanche. So I like sent her a little Mr. Bingle, which I think was like Christmas of 2021, if I remember back correctly. Maybe it was 2022. I don't know. One of those Christmases. What's going on his Facebook? I don't know. I don't check it. I don't check that out, Fresco. You got to tell me what's going on Albert Monero Jr.'s Facebook. I don't know. I don't go on Facebook. Like all these people that say I'm stalking them on all these platforms, I don't know. I mean, they're finding videos from my Facebook that I forgot I even recorded. Okay? Like I don't look for people on Facebook. The one person I did find on Facebook was Stephanie because she had disappeared everywhere else. And yeah, I wanted to find out where the hell she was because she disappeared after disclosing all of our personal information to the enemy. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. So Albert Monero had Freemason references. Well, that's very interesting because I got to tell you, like, I don't know anything about the Freemasons. Um, Although I'll tell you what I do know about the Freemasons. Okay. When I used to sell advertising back in the early 2000s, one of my largest accounts at one of my jobs was the like Massachusetts Freemason Alliance or whatever, which was like the marketing agency for all the individual lodges. And so I think when I went to go pick up a contract or pick up a check, I went to some event at one of the Mason halls. I think it was in Cambridge, Mass or something. And, they were very welcoming and they were kind of telling me that like, Masonry has changed and like they're much more open. And they were like, there were men, women, all different races and all that at this particular lodge. Now there's a Mason hall here in Georgetown that looks like as old school as it gets. And I get like scared even walking by that building. Like I'm just like, mm. So like Masons and Mormons are very big in the little town where I live. There's a Mormon church and a Mason lodge, and it's like, okay, who's really running this place? Because I ain't a Mormon and I ain't a Mason. No, no problem with any of them. No problem with any of them. Like they've all been nice to me, but you know, he wears a Freemason necklace. Oh, wow, because there was the Freemason symbol on that exposing lies and manipulations page. Is Albert Monero Jr. somehow related to Louis Martin Dion? I don't know, just a question. Just a question. Remember how exposing lies and manipulations, when they emailed me, it was like a Masonic symbol on their email. Mm-hmm. Yep. Whoop whoop. Oh, and you know what else is really weird? CKY was like 15 miles away from me this past weekend. The same weekend where Bam was getting married in New Mexico, CKY was playing like literally like very, very, very close to where Brian Kuchar was calling in mental health checks for me. Just saying, a coincidence. Correlation is not causation, but found that out like I think they played Saturday night. I found it on a Sunday or something. Yeah. CKY was playing at Hampton Beach. I think From Another Planet was one of the first, well, From Another Planet and I found out about exposing lies around the same time. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If From Another Planet is who I think they are. But if not, then it must be from another planet. So you know how people always say, like, my brother from another mother, my sister from another mister? Do other people besides me say my cousin from another dozen? Because I always say, like, oh, my cousin from another dozen. But I don't know if I made that up or if that's just something like I just don't hear that often. Because see, I think Kaleidoscope from Another Planet and The Surprise Witness, if The Surprise Witness is here, they're my cousins from another dozen, I think, in my mind. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Yeah, my sister used to love the Pixies. My actual sister from the same mister, allegedly, supposedly, never did a DNA test, and they're both dead now, so who knows? All right, so I hate to stop a stream if we still have like allegedly hundreds of people watching, which I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Yeah, the Pixies are awesome. Yeah. Here comes your man. Ooh. Wow. Kaleidoscope. That is some research right there. Oh, 13. Okay, perfect. 13 is much better than 200. Thank you from another planet. All right. So, yeah, it's really weird. Like the mods and I could see like hundreds of people watching, and it just didn't make any sense because, yeah, I see 13 now too. Okay, perfect. So most people have left. Thank the Lord. Um, yeah, I'm getting super tired. Uh-oh, 14 watching now. 99 minutes. 100 minutes. 14 watching, started streaming 100 minutes ago. It's weird. I only see one thumbs up on this stream, but I see 6 thumbs up on the Kuchar stream. So anyway, go. Do you mean from another planet? Do you mean go like finish the stream, like go do something else with my day? Is that what you're saying? Is that an order from another planet? Oh, awesome absurdity dress up. The Surprise Witness. Are you still watching? Oh, I love you too, Kaleidoscope. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, thank you from another planet. I appreciate you. No, I'm not going to take a break. Once I get off this for the day, I'm off unless something else, unless something else significant happens. Like that's been the good thing about organizing these things at the same time every weekday morning is it forces me to get up at a consistent time. It forces me to show up at a consistent time. It forces me to focus on at least one particular topic for a certain amount of time. And then it kind of helps me put all the pieces together. Take a nap. No, I'm not gonna take a nap. I'm gonna go on. Like I don't know if I was saying this online or I don't know, I was telling somebody else that over this past weekend, I got invited to basically to have a free membership in this like club near where I live. And I said I would be willing to pay, but they were like, no, 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 you're welcome. You're welcome. You'll just be our guest. So yeah, that's a club that I can pretty much use whenever I want to. So I'm probably gonna go hang out there for the day, hang out at the club. Um, the Puppeteer trailer. What does that mean, Anan O'Connor? Tell me what the Puppeteer trailer is. What is the Puppeteer trailer? Oh, okay. So we can see your oh, absurdity. Okay. Let's see. Let's check it out. Ooh, so this is a brand new channel. Ooh, only 21 seconds long. Interesting. Okay. All right, Puppeteer. How do I share it? How do I share it? I'm trying to figure out how I share it. Okay. All right, so I'll subscribe. Okay. And let me see. I'll share it. How do I share it? Let's see. Okay. Amazing. All right. Well, let's see. So I see 12 people watching. I see five of us in the chat. I just want to give a few more minutes if any of the other seven people watching want to say anything or anything like that. Otherwise, I will be signing off. Oh, wait, show us, Bonnie. Show what? Kaleidoscope. Show the video. Let me see if I can do that. I think I can. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Um, does somebody want to paste the link to the trailer in the chat and then I'll share my screen? Absurdity, if you're still here, do you want to paste the link to the trailer in the chat and then I will share my screen so we can see it? Okay. Okay, I'm about to share this trailer from a brand new channel. Let's see what it's all about.
Her right-hand person, and then she totally ghosted me.
Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out o este papitir.
Y'all could hear Brennan's voice though, right? You couldn't hear my voice, but you could hear Brennan's voice, right? Redacted, redacted, message retracted. What the heck? Redacted, redacted. What's going on with you? Redacted, redacted, message retracted. Sounds like one of Stephanie's poems. Redacted, redacted, message retracted. Oh, they've had an account since January. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was just like, that's the kind of stuff I wish I knew how to do. So whoever you are, I am looking for like an editor, a curator of things. I don't pay much, but I will pay you. Like I will pay you a fair wage in whatever place you live. You know what I mean? So like, for example, some people have people working for them in, I don't know, Ghana, and they might pay like $10 a day. And that's like a good living in Ghana. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. And then other people have people, working for them in like Manhattan, and they might pay them $10,000 a day, and that's not even market rate. But whoever did this video that we just watched, please email. I'm going to put my email in. Absurdity dress up. There's no such thing as amateur. When you're covering vital content, that ain't amateur. That's like, oh, okay. All right, cool, absurdity. I'll check that out. I'll look for that. Okay. So yeah, y'all, what an unexpectedly fun live stream this has turned out to be. I thought it was going to be really icky just because we were supposed to be talking about Brian Kuchar, but I think the sort of happy little accident of having to abandon the Kuchar stream and float over to this question mark, question mark, question mark really got the stars aligned. Yes, please don't downplay your skills, absurdity dress up. And Anano Clown, your skills are good too. Your skills are good too. Don't get me wrong. Exploding. No Masons allowed. Exposing clowns and puppet masters. No Masons allowed. Like we need the upside down Mason thing and like a clown and a puppet master or whatever. I don't know. Oh, of course, absurdity. Absurdity. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this my whole life. I've been waiting to share your trailer my whole life, Absurdity, whoever you are. I know, so many trademarks, so little time. All right. So, yeah, I think this is a good time to stop because we're coming up on 2 hours. It took a minute, but we got here, kids. The train has officially left Clown Town. Love you too, Kaleidoscope. The train has officially left Clown Town, and the caboose was left behind. And we're going full steam ahead into whatever comes next. Exactly. So happy to see so many of us coming together. So many of us were like terrified. And one thing I will say for Steph is that the more that comes out about Steph, the more terrified I can imagine she should be. Because, you know, Brennan knows where she lives too. So I'm not saying she's terrified of any of us, but she may have felt that because she was in another country and Brennan had all her information, that there could be people in her backyard that she didn't even know about that Brennan could turn on against her. Yeah, cool base girl. Good to see you. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Bye now.